Hi, back on the test of the rotation. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who have not seen me before, my name is Langers, and I am the coffee obsessed Scruffy trader. And I need to be this morning because it's very early. It's 20 to 7 in the morning. Just been finishing looking around the market, see what's potential for later on this morning, and also starting to set up the DAX rotation test. And if you haven't seen it before and you come part way through this series of videos, it's a strategy that's getting built pretty much live in front of you to see if it's feasible to trade maybe once before you go to work and make a little pot of money. Now it's had its moments, but the pieces are starting to come together. So if that's something you want to see and you want to see the end of it, click that little subscribe button and smash the like, share the video, all that good stuff. And we'll have a little chat. And I'll pull up the screens and we'll see what's going on. So let's have a look. There we go. What we're looking at here is the DAX 5-minute chart. This particular strategy I'm setting up is basically get in, get out. It's not grab and hold or anything like that. You literally want to be in and out. Why? The ideal situation is it's finished before 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, I've been caught a few times where I've had to hold the trades and I need to kind of iron that out. Because there is an initial burst in the sort of between 7 and 8 in the morning. Now you can't particularly put your orders in before 7 simply because of spreads. If you look up here, see the spread's quite wide, and what will happen is you could get dragged into the trade quicker than you anticipate, and then you've got to sit on some heat. And if you've got limited funds, as we do with this, because it's actually only a very small account, if I pull this up, I shall show you. And as you can see, we've had some royal kicks in the teeth this week. But that's the thing with a test. No system is 100%. And sometimes you get a good smack. And I was expecting it with this. Now, I've done reasonable back testing, just manually working it through. But there's nothing like testing something live, because then you can see exactly what's going on in real time. It's not the perfect world. And we're getting some punches. So I've had to roll back the position size because we are edging up the position size as well using a compound plan like this, which will eventually turn it into a wage maker, which is this. And it's the whole idea of trading, because ultimately you want to be paid, and that's how you do it. Because regardless of what you see on the telly about flicking £200 millions, it's a fable. It takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, and the only way you can build it up is by compounding. That's what those parts of the sheet are for. Now today we are moving up to 63p. Started filling this in, as you can see. So we looking good. Try and get about £8 a day out of it. Now here it's not so good. My target point is up in that yellow box, but the price is pretty close to it. And the way it's looking at the moment, I think this might be a scratch trade today, because my last point of entry to go into the trade is this dotted line. Anything on this side, it just isn't really worth taking the trade. So I'll have to keep an eye on it. Now, it's just turning 7:15, so I'll pause the camera. I'll come back about 7 o'clock because I don't start putting orders in till 7. Just as I was saying before about the spread, 7 o'clock the spreads tighten right up as the markets open. So I'll see you at 7 o'clock.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay guys, we're back. So let us have a little look. We are 1 minute to 7. The price has come back on itself, which is good, which is what we want. But we're not going to be entering straight away. I want to see this come down a little bit first. So let us get ready. Okay, there we are. Right, okay. Now that burst is something what I was kind of trying to explain about getting dragged into a trade too early. Now, what can happen is it can push up, and because of the spread, it would catch you. And as you can kind of see, it's immediately gone the opposite way. Now that will put you into a bit of pain. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait the first 5 minutes. All right, I want to see that candle end. Then I can make a judgment call as to whether I'm going to enter into the trade or not. Because what can quite often happen is that'll come in, get to about there, then roll off, come all the way down here. And it happened yesterday. I was sitting in a world of pain most of the morning before it decided that it was going to, well, basically come into target for me. I don't want to sit through that this morning. So we'll let this candle finish. If it kind of closes up around here, we'll just have to sit and wait it out. Anyway, let's finish. I'll just leave the camera running and then I'll come back to you when I'm ready to place the order. Okay guys, it's well, it's flashed on up into the box and now it's coming away from the box. Now in order for me to enter into this market, my point of entry is that dotted line. It's the last point of entry. And what I mean by last point of entry is if I get in after the line, the trade's not really worth it. So I want to be getting in below it, ideally. So somewhere around this area here. Around this area, I want to be getting in. In fact, the lower down, the better. And then I've got a chance of getting 10-15 pips, which is ultimately all we're after with this. Now, you saw me increasing the bid sizes. I kind of had a little target on that, which is 15 pips. If I can get 15 pips or more, I will increase the bid size because there's a little bit of money made. But at the minute, it's a case of waiting. So I'll, rather than switch the camera on and off, what I'll do is I'll just leave it running and we'll see what we get. Okay guys, today is a scratch day. Why? It didn't come into any entry point. Now, I waited, it's 5 to 8. I'm certainly not going to open up a trade to go into the London Open. It would be just madness. So you leave it alone. So let me just explain this a little bit. I had a point of entry here to get into the box. Now you could argue and say, well, you could have just put your order there and let it run in. However, as history's shown us many times, not today obviously, the market will just rattle away. You need to be relatively sure of what you're doing. Now at that point I wasn't sure. All right. Now there is your 7 o'clock candle. Okay. I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen with this. Now the opposing candle, what I use is a trigger, is this one. So my entry point would have been here, which is above that. All right, because you kind of go in reverse, you know, if you're chasing candles. All right, so that one closed, but it was green, so you still haven't got an entry point. You're waiting here. Well, the market opened and then rattled up straight away, but as I was saying, that's above that line. To me, that's not a valid entry. Also, the triggers that I have on this side were not valid either. So you wait. Yeah, chances it goes up, but markets also retest. So the theory was let it unwind as it started to, but again, the entry point was here. So it's still not a good entry. And waited and waited. Basically, I was waiting to get under the line, and then I would have gone into it. But because this is an early morning strategy and a work strategy, this may well happen throughout the morning sometime, possibly mid-morning it could happen, or as the price is sort of showing signs, it looks like it's going to rattle up into here, then it'll come back and it'll use that and then continue. If I'm day trading, that is what I'd be looking to achieve. However, today, no, because it's before work. So it's a scratch trade today, guys. Can't win them all. But what you can do is stick to your principles. And you must do that on every trade. If I'd taken this trade, it would have been a pure punt. And no, I'm not in this to just take a punt at the market and hope that I win. It's just tossing a coin, isn't it? So there we go. Not the best one. Do it again tomorrow. So it's down to scratch. I haven't won, but I haven't lost. So it's still a good day if I look at it that way. So there we go, guys. But the idea of these trades, just to kind of recap, is to be entered before 8 o'clock in the morning. If it is after 8, no, because you'll have a chance to be on your way to work. Okay. If you're in, result, because you can set your stop, set your target, go to work, and let the chart god sort out what it's doing. But if you're not in, just leave it alone. So there we go, guys. Right. Do it all again tomorrow. So trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all on the next one.